Hello, so this is a guitar tutorial for the song No Reason to Hide by the band Hillsong United off Across the Earth, Tear Down the Walls. I'm doing the electric guitar leads. There's a lot of them in this song, and the heart of the sound for the song is in triplets. Everyone's playing triplets all the time, bass, guitar, drums, everything. And to really do the guitar part properly, you need to have a triplet delay. It's an eighth note triplet. So an eighth note triplet delay sounds like this. So if these are my quarter notes. You can hear the triplet delay. So hopefully you have a pedal that can do something like that, and that will really make the lead really come together. So I'll go for it now. Okay, at first I'm just gonna teach the leads without the delay and without a distortion, just because that's probably gonna make it easier to learn. So the intro starts. You're on your G string on your 13th fret. So at first the guitar is just playing this, and I don't remember exactly how long it is on the intro, but you're just ringing on that note for a little bit, and then you start incorporating other notes, which are your 11th fret on your B and your 13th fret on your B. So it's instead of just then. And that continues through most of the first half of the first verse, and it has the delay on it. Then comes an octave line for the second half of the verse, and it starts off there on your 11th and 13th frets. The octave's rooted on the A string, so, and then you move down one fret with both fingers, and then down to the 6th and 8th frets. So, and then same first two notes, but then you go down to the 4th fret. So, now I'm going to play the intro and the first verse. I'm going to shorten the lead on the first half of the verse because he plays for a long time, and you'll just see how long he plays it on the track, but I'll just kind of go over how those parts mash into each other. So that's the first verse. The chorus, I'll go over the chords, but you'll catch them when I play the CD. You got an A flat major, then D flat major, F minor, A flat major, D flat major. So that's that. In between the chorus and verse 2, there's another octave run. And it's up here, starts the same place as the other octave bit on your 11th and 13th frets, but it works up, so it's. So that's the get into the second verse. So with all the effects, it sounds like this. And then the second verse, the first half is a little different. The second half of the second verse is the same business that we just talked about. But the second verse starts off with that same note, and then. So that's the whole line for the first half of the second verse. It's different than the. So I'll just play that again with all the effects and delay. It's just single note pattern, so yeah, you're all on the G string, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 15th frets. So it sounds like. What goes into. That same bit again. So the next part, I guess, would be the solo. And solo's kind of got a lot going on. I'm going to play it with distortion, but without the delay at first, because the distortion adds a lot to a lot of the sounds. So the first lick of it is in octaves. So you're starting back on this same octave that we're using for a lot of them, 11th and 13th. And you're going to slide it up to your 13th and 15th fret, but you're also going to bend it too. So you're doing a semitone bend with the octave. So it sounds like. So that can be maybe a little difficult at first to do a bend with two fingers on two different strings like that, but is what you're going for. So it does that twice. And then it goes down to. So you just start a couple frets lower, but do the same bend. And as you probably noticed, a lot of these rhythms are triplets, so depending on how often you've played triplets before, that can be a little tricky to get down at first. So the first bit, again, I'll play it. And then, so it doesn't do the bend that time, it goes up to your B string, so on your 13th, 14th, and 16th frets. So that's kind of how it goes. And then the next little bits is kind of on the CD. There's a lot going on. There's a couple guitars and everything. The best that I can figure is I just always hold this same octave and just reef out a bunch of triplet patterns on it. So right after the. And then comes a bending line. So we're doing unison bends in the G and B strings. Hopefully you've taken a look at unison bends before. I've talked about them in a couple other videos, so I won't go over them here. But so basically you're starting on your 11th and 14th fret on your B and G string. So the first bend is, the next bend is 2 frets up, then 1 fret up, then another 2, and then you pop over a string, but don't go up any frets. So that pattern is. So hopefully you get the idea there. So now I'll play the solo once through without delay, and then I'll play it with delay. So now with delay, this is what it sounds like. So that's the solo. That's probably the hardest part of the song. Then the first bridge is pretty straightforward. It's another octave run. So it starts up on same octave. We start basically every line on here, and then it works down 2 frets. So then down 1 fret, and then down to your 4th fret. So during the first bridge, this is what it sounds like. after that bridge, you go back into the chorus, then back into the solo. The solo is the same as the first time you hit it. Then you hit the second bridge. It's great if you can have two guitars going on this, two electrics on this song, because the second bridge, one guitar can play the same line in the first bridge, and then the other guitar does kind of a harmony line with it. Starts on the same point, but works up, and then so you go start from your 11th fret, then up to your 13th, then 15th, 16th. So that one is. The one thing, so when they're singing, you just kind of do your downstrokes and let the delay do the work on the triplets. Although to build it up, once it kind of has the instrumental outro with some vocals over top, I usually go into full-on triplets on those octaves just to kind of fill it out a bit. So that's what it sounds like here. So it just kind of beefs it up a little bit. So hopefully all those parts make sense together. There's a lot going on, lots of octave runs, and like I said, everything's in triplets, so you kind of got to get comfortable with that. So I'm going to play it with the song now, and yeah, hopefully you can follow.